saddest pieces of news this week was a survey that found that nearly 3/4 of children polled fear being stabbed or shot at home or at school. It's hard to escape violence, America. Take Compton, California, south of Los Angeles, where the mayor this week called for a state of emergency. 7 days, 7 murders. We now bring you the story of one woman's fight to break the cycle of violence in Compton, a cycle that, as Ken Kashiwahara reports, in the end, even she couldn't escape.
The next stop is Jefferson.
Vicky Lindsey lives in Compton and has seen the violence firsthand. She sees it too as she drives a bus through some of the toughest neighborhoods in Los Angeles.
As I drive down the street in the bus, I look at LA in such a disgust. Although there are good people I meet, there are also sad sights on the street. All right, you too, bye-bye.
Vicky Lindsey is a poet who writes what she calls poetry from the hood. Writes about the homeless, about drug dealers, about gangbangers.
People would be amazed at what they would see out here because it's everything. Everything. I mean, I've seen, everybody out here. Next is Manchester.
She writes, she says, to give a voice to those who live in the inner city, to those who are killed, and to those who kill.
I'm sorry. I want to apologize for what I've done. It was supposed to be all in fun. I didn't realize the seriousness of that gun. Honestly, I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. I only pulled the trigger because homeboy called me a nigger. The nerve of him to say that. I'm not a nigger, I'm black. I said, homie, what's your trip? You better watch what comes from your lips. He said, man, what's wrong with you? I can say what I want to. Then one thing led to another. I forgot he was my brother, so I shot him.
She has written a lot about death because that's life in the hood, but always about someone else's son, someone else's daughter, until a month ago when her own son, 19-year-old Lionel, was shot and killed in Compton by a gangbanger.
Instead of looking at it from the outside looking in, I was on the inside this time, and it hurt. It hurt.
Vicky knew she now had to write the most difficult poem of all, about her own loss, about her own son.
I couldn't go to sleep at night until I was for sure you were all right. I protected you for as long as I could, but you just had to hang in the hood. I told you hanging was no good, but because you had a mind of your own, your homeboys are still here, you're the one gone. They'll cry for you for just a little while. I'll cry forever for you were my child.
There is an underlying message behind Vicky's poems, to stop the cycle of violence in the inner city. But there was no subtlety of rhyme as she spoke to her son's friends. She spoke as a mother.
To Lionel's homeboys, there will be no revenge. I don't want nobody to get shot up because I don't want nobody else's mama, family, friends, or nothing to go through this.
3 days after Lionel was buried, his son was born. And through her poetry, Vicky says she will continue to fight for a better life for her new grandson and for everyone else in the hood. She can only hope and pray, she says, that someone will listen.
As hard as I try, as hard as I want to try, as hard as I'm going to try, I just think that there's going to take a little bit more than me.
Ken Kashiwahara for Good Morning America Sunday, Compton, California.
Vicky Lindsey's on the inside now. She might say, we all are. Good Morning America Sunday. We'll be right back.